No mai, haere mai, and welcome to Frogs on Friday again. I can't believe how quickly the days and weeks are flying by. I'm Shannon Barlow, Managing Director for Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. So today we're going to go through, again, we'll be talking about skills shortages, but getting a take on, I guess, the positives and negatives for employees and job seekers. As usual, we'll highlight some of our hot jobs that we're working on currently. This week, I'm very excited to have a special guest, Sally McGrath, who's looking to kick off our webinar series for the year and will give us a sneak peek into why you really don't want to miss out on the webinar next week on empowering employee, it's a bit of a tongue twister, empowering employee wellbeing at work, which is the webinar we have running next week. So great to see that. As usual, we'll have the results of our polls and the next ones coming up for the week ahead. So if we start off with some of the news around work in the media at the moment. Okay, so this is a recent article on the worker shortage in New Zealand and the toll that it's taking on New Zealand businesses. And we had Peter Cristani, our managing director from our Wellington office, comment in this article saying that the skills shortage is the worst that he's seen in 20 years in the business. And I'm sure most of us will agree with that. But I wanted to take it, I guess, on a different perspective for employees and job seekers and what that means for them. So with the demand, the high demand for talent with the extreme skills shortage, it means that there's definitely some positive outcomes for employees and a few negatives as well. So we'll start with the positive. One of the greatest things to come out of this talent shortage is that there are much greater employment opportunities for job seekers or employees looking for a new challenge. So whether that may be looking at a new permanent role, sometimes it's project work that they might be able to combine with a side gig or other aspects of their life. So looking at that work-life balance or life-work balance as it's tending to be known now. As well as different temporary or contracting roles that have sprung up where the work still needs to be done. So there's opportunities to get those short-term options while businesses are looking for permanent staff. Some other positives out of that are better working conditions. So we've talked about really the need for employers to showcase what they have to offer. And sometimes it's about improving the conditions for existing staff as well. So whether that's re-looking at their flexible work policies and how that actually works in practice. So we've all gotten some good experience in that over the last couple of years. We've talked a lot about increased salaries and benefits packages, as well as the office revamp. And it may even be opportunities to job share. As a spin-off from that, another positive outcome is increased job satisfaction. So one of the trends that we're seeing is a rise in promotions, or perhaps those promotions are coming through earlier than they usually would. So looking to, I guess, best utilize and to reward the staff that businesses have already. Or it may be things like giving that variety of work and keeping that employee satisfaction up, whether that's by giving the opportunity to work on projects or collaborate with other areas of the business. We do like a bit of balance, so we will talk about some of the negative effects as well. So sometimes when you're struggling to find staff, it may mean that you are covering multiple roles while the business is short-staffed. And I'm sure Sally will talk a little bit more about that when she previews the webinar as well. And going along with it as well as perhaps in working longer hours. So whether that's due to it being hard to disconnect when the line between your work and home life is very blurred when you're working from home like I am today, or whether it's just that there's more work to do with less people. So yeah, a lot of things to come out. Both I think the positives tend to outweigh the negatives with the demand for talent, with the skills shortage. So if we move on now to our job section. Okay, so for the jobs we have, again, we're just showcasing 3 of the different roles that we have available at the moment. So the first one is based in Wellington, so it's a principal or senior advisor. So I know that the Wellington team is superbly busy with a number of different policy roles, as well as a broad range of positions across Wellington, within the government and also in the commercial sector as well. The next role we have, if we put that up, so project coordinator. This is a temporary position based in Auckland, but a nice juicy temp assignment as well, so could go up to 8 months. And the last role there, this is actually one that I have been working on. So it's a training and technical services officer role, again based in Auckland, although there will be opportunities to travel across the business throughout New Zealand. So this one, looking at around that 90 to 110k salary. And we have some similar roles to this one where they're looking for people who perhaps have those trades experience, so gas fitting, plumbing, electricians, that kind of background, and they're looking to take those skills in a new direction and to pass on their expertise. So some good opportunities there. And then lastly, I think we have a video of one of our other opportunities.
At Frog Recruitment, we are really excited to announce that we're partnering with UCG, who have just been awarded a 7-year contract with Chorus across the North Island. Where we are going to be helping is mainly with their customer service roles. So as a work management coordinator, your main responsibilities and duties are taking inbound calls from customers who are looking for internet. You'll be speaking with delivery partners and technicians, working out whose skills best suit that particular job and making sure that you schedule them in for the days and times that best suit that customer. You'll be looking after the job cycle from the start to the finish, and you'll also be working across their work management systems just to make sure that that goes into completion. In terms of what they're looking for, if you have come from a similar industry doing a very similar role, then we would definitely love to hear from you. If you haven't, we would still love to hear from you. So we are looking for people that have customer service experience as well as administration experience. I do think that the most important things are that you are a problem solver, that you are able to use your initiative, you've got that kind of organisation skills as well as those team working skills, because everyone comes together to help each other out. They are based in Penrose. These are permanent positions, and the great news is they are growth roles, so you'll be joining a very established and a very stable company who do look after their staff. If you are interested and want to know any more information, then my details are shown below, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Excellent. So some really exciting roles there, and particularly proud to be able to partner with UCG on the bulk recruitment project with Kirsty. And now the exciting part, so we'll turn over. So very grateful to have Sally McGrath on the show today, and even more so to have her leading up our webinar series next week. So Sally, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what you've got in store for us?
Thank you, Shannon. Good morning, everybody from across the Tasman. And Looking forward to sharing with you next week my Empowering Employee Workplace Wellbeing presentation. It's never been more important than ever before to really focus on the workplace wellbeing for employees, from leadership roles right through the organisation. So next week I'll be sharing my program information and my thoughts and processes on specifically burnout prevention and management. Also the mental health hygiene piece that is becoming more and more an essential part of workplace wellbeing, and also work and life in synergy. So which delves into work and life beyond balance. I'll share with you some thoughts on balance. And more than ever, I think we've learned through the last couple of years that we've all experienced, finding those boundaries, which Shannon touched on earlier in the video. So please join us next Wednesday, 12:30 and 2:30 for our friends across the Tasman. And look forward to sharing more information. We'll also have a question answer, so any burning questions that you may have on workplace wellbeing, please bring them, share them, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you, Shannon.
No problems. Now, we don't want to give away too much before the webinar, but you mentioned burnout, and that's something that we've talked about, and unfortunately is still going to be a trend for this year. And in that, I guess that increased workload is a negative effect of the skills shortage and the larger pandemic. What have you noticed about that trend in increased workload?
The increase in workloads, I think, has been compounded by working from home. Whilst there are some amazing opportunities in working from home and having some balance there, it is important to define boundaries. So really having a start and finish time in your and diarise it. And having that disconnection between when you actually finish work before you go into the rest of your evening, family time, downtime. So it's really important to set that boundary and decide what time you will finish. Take that, it could be 5-10 minutes to disconnect from your workday, and then be able to lean in and enjoy your evening and some downtime with family and or gym, or what you choose to do in your private space.
Excellent. Well, I know that I'm definitely keen to tune in next week, and I think there's going to be a lot there for whether you're an employee or you're looking for work, to really set yourself up for a good year. And I think that balance is going to be key. So looking forward to it. I'm sure Jacob will put up the links so that you can join in on or register for that webinar. Make sure not to miss that next week. Thank you, Sally. It's really great having you on today. And yeah, looking forward to the tips next week. Let's have a look to see what the results of our poll were last week. Okay, so we asked with hybrid. Oh, sorry, I've just lost. You can tell we're really live because I lost the screen there, but we asked, with hybrid working now considered to be the norm, which workstation do you prefer? So this kind of came about because, we've been doing this for a while, and some of us have set up some pretty sweet office setup at home. And that's what the results have told us as well. They're saying that actually my work from home setup, 72% of you said that's what you prefer to the office setup. So it looks like even though businesses are focusing on what they can do to encourage people to come back into the office when it's safe, there's a little way to go there. Okay, so let's see what the poll is for this week. Now, there's been a lot of talk around, although we're in the red light setting and there's lots of things that we're still able to do, many New Zealanders seem to be putting themselves in a self-imposed lockdown, or avoiding some of the, I guess, what they may see as risky activities. So I guess assessing their own risks. So we wanted to ask, despite New Zealand being in a red light setting, are you still choosing to restrain from working in the office? So I guess we're looking at, your office may be open, but you're saying, no, I'm going to opt to keep working from home for now. So it'd be interesting to see the results from that one next week. Okay, so that's it for today. So we'll be back same time, 12:30 next week with a new show, and interesting to see the results from the poll there. And make sure to tune into the webinar next week with Sally. See you next week.